The smoke-choked air above the Mojave Desert shimmered with heat, not just from the 110-degree sun but from the forearm blaze, a wildfire that had chewed through 30,000 acres in 48 hours. At the main incident command post, ICP, two crews eyed each other with mutual suspicion. The first was the Ironwood Hotshots, elite, federally funded, and disciplined, down to the way their boots were laced. Their captain, Marcus Rourke, was a granite-faced man who lived by the Forest Service manual. The second was Engine Company 17, the local county crew, led by Captain Elena Reyes. They were scrappier, used to fighting structural fires and smaller nasty brush jobs with whatever they had. They knew this desert intimately, but the hotshots saw them as cowboys. "Your lines are too shallow, Reyes," Rourke stated, pointing at a map detailing the defensive position near the old Highway 58. "We need depth. This is a crown fire event, not a grass burner." Reyes glared, her face smudged with soot. "We know this canyon, Rourke. That brush is old man Zanita. It doesn't just burn, it explodes. We need fast deployment and local access points. Your dozers are too slow out here." "My dozers cut a containment line you could land a plane on," Rourke countered, folding his arms. "We stick to protocol." The argument became irrelevant at 0200 hours. The wind, which was supposed to die down until dawn, abruptly shifted and roared to life. The forearm blaze jumped the main valley, turning what Rourke thought was a safe indirect attack into a direct threat to the historic mining town of Gold Peak. "Fire just jumped the canyon at Sector Delta." The radio blared. "All units, Gold Peak is compromised." Rourke swore, seeing his entire operation unravel. He had the manpower, but Reyes had the knowledge. "The town's only defense is the old water reservoir line and the cemetery ridge," Reyes barked, grabbing Rourke's arm. "Your crews are trained for sustained defense. Mine are trained for speed. We hit the ridge with your line defense, and then my pumpers use the reservoir's runoff valve to flood the cemetery grounds. It's the only defensible spot left." Rourke hesitated for a split second. Every fiber of his training screamed to wait for backup, but the sight of the orange glow against the black sky was its own command. "Ironwood, fall in with Engine 17, Rourke roared into his mic. "You take point, Reyes. You call the shots on the ground." What followed was a ballet of coordinated chaos. Rourke's hotshots, utilizing their heavy-duty hoses and unwavering discipline, anchored the defense line at the ridge, cutting down the chaparral and cooling the air with precise water application. Meanwhile, Reyes's crew, moving with uncanny familiarity through the dark, found the hidden, overgrown access road to the century-old water valve. They cranked it open, sending a surge of pressurized water that soaked the dry, dusty cemetery grounds just moments before the first embers rained down. The two crews fought shoulder to shoulder, federal protocol mixing with desert grit. When the fire hit the cemetery, it hissed and died in a wall of steam, starved of fuel and moisture. They held the line for 3 agonizing hours, the combined force of their efforts creating a damp black scar that refused to yield. As the sun finally broke, casting a surreal, dusty orange light over the landscape, the fire bypassed Gold Peak entirely, finally running out of fuel miles beyond. Exhausted, Rourke watched his hotshots pack up their gear, followed by Reyes' crew. Reyes walked over, wiping sweat from her brow. She didn't offer a handshake, just a tired, knowing nod. "Your crews fought hard, Rourke. You gave us the time we needed." Rourke returned the nod, a flicker of respect in his eyes. "Your local knowledge saved that town, Reyes. No manual teaches you where those old lines run." The rivalry hadn't vanished, but the fire had forged something stronger, a necessary, earned respect. They were still 2 different teams, but they both knew that in the brutal theater of the desert, they were better and safer together.